You might not always recognize when a woman is developing feelings for you, especially when she's not saying it outright. But emotions have a way of slipping through the cracks, showing up in the quietest gestures. It's not always what she says, but how she acts when she thinks you're not paying close attention. Maybe she starts remembering the little things you've mentioned in passing. Not the big, obvious stuff, but those random details, like how you like your coffee, the name of your childhood dog, or that weird movie you said you loved. Most people let those things slide. But she holds on to them. Mentions them later. Brings them up when you least expect it. That kind of memory isn't casual, it's intentional, even if she doesn't realize she's doing it. Then there's the way she makes space for you. Not in grand, dramatic ways, but in small, consistent ones. She checks in just to see how you're doing. She sends you something that reminded her of you, a meme, a song, a photo. She starts showing up more. You notice she sits near you, even when she doesn't have to. She lingers after conversations instead of rushing off. She makes you part of her day in subtle, almost unnoticeable ways, but those ways add up. People don't do that for just anyone. Body language gives even more away. When someone's trying to keep their feelings low-key, their body often speaks louder than their voice. You might catch her looking at you when she thinks you're not watching. Or she smiles in a way that's just for you, softer, warmer, more genuine. Her posture shifts toward you, her feet point in your direction. Maybe she fidgets a little more, laughs a little harder. Not out of awkwardness, but because something about you stirs something in her. And then there's the way she responds when you talk. She listens differently, more attentively, like she's not just hearing your words, but absorbing them. She remembers the stories, the emotions behind them. Her reactions are slower, more thoughtful. You can tell she's not trying to impress you, she's genuinely interested. She cares about your thoughts, your feelings, even the things that seem mundane to most people. It's in the way she follows up later, the way she circles back to something you mentioned days ago. Sometimes, the biggest signals are in the smallest moments. Like when she lets her guard down just a little around you. Shares something personal. Gets a little quieter, not because she's bored, but because she's feeling something she hasn't quite named yet. Maybe her tone softens. Maybe she opens up in a way she doesn't with others. She might not even know she's doing it. But something about you feels safe, familiar, magnetic. And if you pay attention, you'll see it. The subtle shift in how she looks at you. The pause before she says goodbye. The way her texts come in just a little faster than before. The hesitation when she's about to walk away, as if part of her wants to stay just a bit longer. None of these are loud declarations of love, but together, they create a rhythm. A quiet song only you two can hear. Sometimes, she'll test the waters, not with bold flirting, but with small nudges. A teasing comment. A playful jab. Or even a question that seems innocent on the surface, like, "Would you ever date someone like me?" disguised as a joke. It's her way of gauging your reaction without risking too much. She's curious, but cautious. And those little moments of vulnerability are where her feelings start to peek through. She might also start mirroring your behavior without realizing it. If you lean in, she leans in. If you smile, she smiles. If you start using certain phrases, she picks them up too. This kind of syncing doesn't happen with everyone. It's a subconscious way we align with people we feel connected to. Her body is telling you a story that her words haven't caught up to yet. And notice how she responds when you give your attention to someone else. Even if she hides it well, there might be a flicker, a shift in her energy. A sudden quietness. A short answer. Or a small glance in your direction when you're laughing with someone else. She's not trying to control you. She's just feeling something and doesn't quite know how to name it yet. Conversations with her start to feel different too. They go deeper, linger longer. You might catch yourselves talking about life, dreams, fears, the kinds of things most people don't open up about right away. She lets you see parts of her that she doesn't show to everyone. Not because she's trying to impress you, but because she trusts you. There's a comfort in your presence. A kind of silence between you that doesn't feel empty, it feels full. When you're not around, she finds ways to stay connected. Maybe she brings up your name in conversations with others. Maybe she checks your social media just to feel close. Or she sends you things out of the blue not because she has to, but because you crossed her mind and she wanted you to know. These are the invisible threads she's weaving, slowly tying you into her world. And sometimes, it's not even about what she does, it's about what she doesn't do. She doesn't cancel plans with you, even when she's tired. She doesn't scroll on her phone when you're talking. She doesn't treat you like just another friend. There's a different kind of focus. A quiet priority. You feel it, even if she hasn't said a word. In the end, it's not about dramatic confessions or grand romantic gestures. It's about noticing the shift, the stillness, the soft energy that surrounds her when she's with you. The way her presence feels a little warmer, a little closer, a little more intentional. Because when a woman is truly into you, it rarely starts with fireworks. It begins in the quiet, in the spaces between words, in the glance that lingers a second too long. And once you learn how to recognize those quiet signs, you start to notice them everywhere. In the way her mood lifts when you walk into the room. In the way her laughter feels a little more alive when it's with you. You catch the pauses in her speech, the moments where she's choosing her words more carefully than usual, because what she says to you matters to her more than she's letting on. Even the silences begin to feel meaningful. She's not rushing to fill them. She's comfortable sitting in them with you, because connection doesn't always need sound. Sometimes, just being near you is enough. It's in those moments, those quiet, still moments, that her feelings feel the most real. Her curiosity about your life deepens. Not just surface-level questions, but the kind that show she genuinely wants to understand you. She asks about your family, your childhood, your dreams, your failures, not to pry, but to connect. To get closer to the core of who you are. She listens not to reply, but to remember. To reflect. To respond in a way that feels personal and real. And if you really pay attention, you'll see how she starts to subtly invest in your well-being. She celebrates your wins, even the small ones. She encourages your growth. She gives advice with care, not criticism. Her support becomes a quiet constant. A presence that's steady, even when you don't ask for it. That's not friendship alone. That's the kind of care that grows from something deeper. Then there's the shift in her energy when you're alone together. She might become a little more relaxed, a little more open. Maybe she jokes more, or lets her guard down just a bit. There's an intimacy that builds not through touch, but through trust. And when she shares a secret, a fear, or a story she's never told anyone else, it's because she sees something in you, someone she can be real with. And sometimes, it's in what she wants to share: her favorite movie, her comfort songs, the things that shaped her. She wants you to know them because they made her who she is, and if you understand those things, she feels like maybe you'll understand her too. It's a subtle way of letting you in. Slowly, quietly, intentionally. As time passes, these moments begin to add up, small pieces of a larger picture she's painting without words. She might not say, "I like you." She might not confess anything outright. But her actions say it all. You just have to be the kind of person who listens with more than your ears. Because some feelings don't come with fireworks. They unfold like a sunrise, slowly, steadily, beautifully, and if you're not paying attention, you might miss the light as it breaks through. And when you finally start to see it, to really see it, you realize that maybe she's been speaking to you all along, not with words, but with presence, with effort, with energy. And now that you've seen the signs, the question becomes, what will you do with them? Because when someone shows up quietly, consistently, and with genuine care, it's a rare kind of connection. One that doesn't shout for attention but whispers for recognition. The truth is, love doesn't always begin with bold declarations. Sometimes, it starts with a shared glance, a remembered detail, a soft laugh, a slow shift. So if you've noticed these quiet ways she's showing she's into you, don't ignore them. Pay attention. Respond with presence. Because the strongest bonds are often built in the silence between words. And the most meaningful connections? They begin in the quiet.